Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of TechRise. Today is one of our very special weeks where we focus on the amazing women in tech that are in Chicago, building incredible businesses. We represent 45% of the working population, but only about 2.4% of venture funding in Chicago goes to women founders. And so we're really trying at TechRise to help make a difference there. And we're doing that in partnership, of course, with our sponsors that we always have, Verizon, but and then a special thank you this week to Get Cities, who has helped fund today's prize of $25,000. And we'll be talking to Leslie Smith from Get Cities during the deliberation. So please stay on so you can learn more about the initiative. But for those of you new to TechRise, I am Desiree Vargas Wrigley, a two-time Latina founder here in Chicago, founder of Give Forward and Parachute. And TechRise is an initiative started in partnership with Verizon to support initially Black and Latino founders, but now we've expanded to include all BIPOC, women, trans, non-binary, and LGBTQ+ founders in Chicago, which we loosely define as within driving distance. So if you have an idea and you want to come on, we have lots of episodes left this season, and we would love to see your application come through. You can go to techrise.co/apply. And the way it works is that we have 4 or 5 founders take the stage every week. They pitch their business over 4 minutes, and then they have 4 minutes of Q&A with the judges, where the judges ask them questions about customer acquisition or go to market. And then at the end of the segment, the judges deliberate and choose a winner real time. So it's very exciting and usually very inspirational. So with that, I'm so excited to welcome our judges today. First, we have Amora Miller. She's a venture programs and community manager at Republic. She was raised in an entrepreneurial household in Houston, Texas, and graduated from Manhattanville College in 2016 with a communications studies degree. After spending over 5 years in the fashion industry, she decided to pivot towards a mission-driven career and moved into the edtech space at Flatiron School. And during this time, she was reintroduced to the world of startups when she participated in an NYC Techstars Startup Weekend in December of 2019. Her interest officially peaked when she became the platform manager at my good friend's company, Get Shit Done. I didn't realize we had that connection with Alexis, sorry. And then a traction-based accelerator program focused on female entrepreneurs. She most recently served as the program's operation executive at Multiverse, a startup built as the alternative to the traditional 4-year educational route for young adults looking to break into the world of tech. So great to have you here, and we're big fans of Republic, so thanks for being here. Okay, next we have Emily Smith. She's Senior Vice President and HRBP at Bespoke. Emily Smith assists small to mid-sized privately held companies with their overall real estate strategy. She provides consulting on a wide variety of office and industrial transactions, including lease renegotiation, site selection, and strategic planning. She specializes in tenant representation in downtown Chicago and has 10 years of commercial real estate experience. But she's also, very importantly, the leader of a program here in Chicago to support young women in their teens building businesses. So as the lead at Yay and Female Strong, right? Yep. Not sure if I missed anything else, but definitely, and she's also an angel investor. So, okay, and our final judge is Nima Merchant. She is strategic advisor at Get Cities. Nima's built her career across mission-driven organizations with a focus on relationship management, business development, operations, talent development, and management. She worked closely with executives, entrepreneurs, technical, business, medical professionals, and students in a variety of organizations around the world. She's passionate about creating inclusive and equitable workplaces and that have either led or participated in initiatives that recognize, support, and celebrate underrepresented populations, and enjoys thinking outside of the box, bringing new and creative ideas to the table. And she's also an angel investor through the Josephine Collective. So it's great to have you ladies here representing many different areas of our city and our country, actually. I think that Amora is in New York still. So great to have you all. Okay, so with that, we're going to get ready for our first founder to take the stage. We have Candice Blacknall from GABA.
So let me share the screen. Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Candice Blacknall. I'm the CEO and founder of GABA, a video-based storytelling app that helps high school students and career changers discover careers and get hired. Now, before I was 17, I could already fire a gun and patch a bullet hole in a human, but I could not create a career plan. Now, my training was the result of military training, but as a Flint, Michigan native, I knew lots of brilliant young adults who had that kind of skill from more treacherous lives full of disadvantage. Like me, they didn't have access to college counselors that were informed or accessible mentors. They had social media. Now, today, social media is the second most common place for career information. But when we talk to our student user and even our enterprise employer who's looking to recruit that awesome talent, they tell us that it's incredibly noisy and it's the worst possible place to make professional connections. They tell us that there needs to be a college independent pathway to career success. Now, our team with over 10 years of corporate recruiting, career coaching, and product development experience launched into action to take advantage of this $40 billion market opportunity and youth career discovery and development. Together, we built GABA. GABA is an app that uses machine learning and career content to make career discovery and recruiting the newest talent coming out of high schools easy. Employers post day in the life videos that showcase what it's like to actually do the roles that they're hiring for in order to recruit talent. And the end student user then uses that content to discover careers, to further build relationships with the employers and the models that are modeling the roles that they have open. And they use our personalized analytics and growth insights to develop the skills that are necessary to get into those roles. Now, since our launch in September of last year, we have over 4 enterprise customers, over 20,000 student users using the product, and a $1 million global distribution deal. And that comes from having bootstrapped roughly $323,000 in capital to get us here. Students pay $6.99 a month for their individual plans if they're buying them separate from their schools. And schools and employers pay a base platform access fee, and then we capture 5% of the revenue, 5% of the salary of their first year hire for our corporate partners that use the GABA app to recruit talent. Now, that's a ton of numbers, but I'll tell you what my favorite number is about GABA, and it really boils down to the number 1. The first time a veteran sent us a note that told us, hey, your app is quote unquote life-changing. The first time that our algorithm matched a woman into a STEM career. And quite frankly, the first place vote from you all, because you understand how impactful this technology can be today and 30 years from now with your support. Thank you.
Great. Judges, you can come on. Candice, I have to say that was the first time ever we had someone end so quickly. You were so concise. Good job.
Okay.
All right. Okay, judges, come on. And Nima, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Candice, for a great presentation. Can you talk a little bit more about customer acquisition and how you're doing that?
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could share my screen again. I had a slide. Okay, so our go-to-market strategy focused on 3 main regions. We rolled out in Georgia, Texas, and California. And we did that by partnering with schools and local nonprofits that were mission-driven to increase educational equity for minority populations in vulnerable communities. By building those partnerships, we were able to identify student brand ambassadors. And actually, our initial strategy for user acquisition consisted of word of mouth alone. Through that strategy, we were able to have roughly 10 to 15% monthly user growth every month. And now that we've done that, we are now partnering with affiliates like UniDays, which is how we have the $1 million global distribution deal to accelerate the use of our technology, both in the United States and beyond.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you so much, Candice. That's amazing. So I saw you were going to hire a data scientist.
Yes.
So that's your next strategic hire. So what do you plan on having them do?
Yes. So we're a data-driven company. Actually, the data that we collect on students' progress is the asset. But in order for us to refine our algorithm and make it smarter as we go, we have to be really smart about how we collect and store that data. So a lot of what our data scientists would be doing is moving our technology from a non-relational database to a relational database so that we have more flexibility and extensibility of the data that we collect, and then ultimately be able to advise students with much more precision 5 to 10 years from now with the algorithm maturation.
Amora.
Could you speak a little bit about any direct competitors that you've encountered since launching and how you stand out against them?
Yeah, absolutely. So this space can be divided into 3 big buckets. So you have products that are candidate serving, those are things like Glassdoor or any of the traditional job boards. And then you have your employer serving type products like ZipRecruiter, Indeed, or Handshake. In the middle, you have hybrid design products. And so actually the only two products that sit in that space is GABA and LinkedIn. What really distinguishes us from LinkedIn is that the average age of a user on LinkedIn is already 39. So if you're a young professional hoping to launch your career, say coming out of high school, it's certainly not the platform for you. There's an unspoken startup cost that happens with LinkedIn. The other thing is that we cater specifically to individuals that are going from high school directly into the workforce. And that's something that hasn't been done before. Products like LinkedIn that are designed to be professional networks kind of assume you have gone to college and thus have an alumni network to launch from. That's not the opportunity that's afforded to individuals that are going directly into the workforce. And we theorize that a lot of the discrepancy you see in earnings from high school graduates to college graduates is because they do not have a digital home for their alumni network starting from high school. So we serve a different market. We definitely have a different approach using the video-based content as a medium. And because we serve both the candidate and employer, we represent an opportunity to have a hybrid product that is competitive to LinkedIn.
We have time for at least one more question.
I had a question. How are you developing career content, and do you have partnerships to develop that?
Yeah. So our employers actually develop the career content in order to recruit talent. What we tell them is you have to use existing talent to bring in new talent. And we help them identify what we call role models. Literally, they are models who model the role that they're hiring for. So the employer creates the content with the goal of attracting new and diverse young talent out of high school. Video-based medium is the form that is most digestible to this younger generation of professionals. And by doing that, we get more content on our feed. Additionally, the role models that are designated by the employers can do Q&As with the individual student user. And so those also pop up on the feed. And outside of that, we scrape third-party content from places like TikTok and YouTube.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to cover, or one more question? We do have 45 seconds.
No, I think that was it.
Well, you did an excellent job communicating your vision. So way to be concise. You get extra points for that, for keeping us on time. All right. And with that, I'm going to introduce Juanita Garcia from Sustainafy. And Emily, can I have you go video off? All right, Juanita, when you have your screen up, we'll let you know. And I think you're still muted, just so you know.
Thank you.
All right, looks like you're good to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. My name is Juanita Garcia, and I'm one of the co-founders of Sustainafy. A construction manager can very easily tell you when they're on time and on budget, but they can't tell you the carbon footprint of their project. We know that the construction industry contributes 39% of global carbon emissions. They can't tell you exactly how much their project is contributing to those carbon emissions. The solution would be Sustainafy's solution to provide transparency, traceability, and third-party verifiable reporting. Instead of chasing down more responsibilities that eat into the responsibilities of construction managers, Sustainafy would be that solution. Our solution provides carbon emissions accounting and reporting across all scopes of carbon for various construction-related activities. These calculations would be based on the Greenhouse Gas Protocol guidance documents. It's a global standard that is used to measure emissions. So we'd be able to provide that for private and public sector operations, all through the value chain. So with that, we'd be able to provide that transparency to that data, to calculating those carbon emissions. It'd be traceable across suppliers, manufacturers, and subcontractors, and it would be third-party verifiable. Myself and my co-founder, we have over 25 years combined experience in green building, in sustainable construction. and ESG consulting. Looking at the market, we see the opportunity with several organizations, including general contractors and developers and owners that are making these net zero commitments that are aligned with the Paris alignment commitments, in addition to municipalities that are making climate action plans and commitments. We're looking at the opportunity with the 400 global contractors from the ranking in the ENR. That equates to an addressable market of about 389 billion. That's 6% of the total global construction market. Looking at our competitive landscape, there are two considerable competitors in this space, but they don't account for the construction value chain for fuel, materials, and transportation emissions. We'd be able to do that. So as part of the experience we create this SaaS model on our platform. We'd have a job site profile. We'd be able to verify construction activities, and then we'd invite stakeholders such as subcontractors and suppliers. And then those stakeholders would be able to upload their activity data directly. And with that, we'd be able to give our customers a carbon report based on those greenhouse gas protocols. So the pricing we're looking at, we're thinking it would be a subscription model. It would be based on project size and on a per project basis. And that, it would be the opportunity with unlimited users because of the many stakeholders that would be contributing data to that greenhouse gas report. Since we started Sustainafy last November, we entered the Empower cohort at MHub. Since then, we have built an MVP that we've started, and we're looking in the next few months to be testing that to build a beta.
Okay, I do have to cut us off, but you can cover some more in the Q&A. So if you don't mind going out of presentation mode, we will bring everyone back on. And Emily, I was hoping you'd kick us off.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Juanita. So I saw that you're just getting ready to go into beta, correct, at the end of this year. So you don't have any current clients, or have you had any conversations with existing contractors on the need at all? Can you share a little bit more about that, if so?
Yeah, so we just got accepted in a Clean Tech Open. We're going through that program, talking to a lot of customers. So we're doing that in the next few months with the intention of taking that information, starting to test that beta or test that MVP and build it to a beta.
Maura, you want to go next?
Actually, going off of that question, what would your expected, customer base be, say, a year from now? Or what is your target, rather?
So we're targeting around 20 projects. That's our target for the second quarter next year, and then we'll build out from there.
Ema.
Thank you, Juanita. I was curious, with the $25,000 prize, what would next steps be with that?
So with that, we'll be because right now we're working through talking to customers and testing that beta. It would go contributing to building that beta. Our expertise, the two founders, we don't have expertise in that building a development, so that would be where that money would go to.
So to clarify, that's like some of the tech, is that right?
Right, the tech.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We have time. Emily, do you have another question?
Yeah, I was just going to say, have you considered potentially, I know you're a subscription model, like white labeling this? I know there's a lot of customized softwares for a lot of general contractors. So what would that look like, and what would your subscription model look like?
Yeah, that we've been exploring some options to build on existing software, or even similarly with the strategic partnership with software that contractors are already using. And there's also definitely an opportunity, especially with the data that they're using, to integrate. That's something we are kind of looking at in the future.
Juanita, is there anything else that you didn't get a chance to finish in your pitch that you want to cover now?
No, just I think we're excited about that opportunity with Clean Tech Open, and we're excited about the timeline that we've started to build out. So, and looking to build that beta by the end of the year. Thank you.
I love all these punctual ladies. Makes my job easier. Great job, Juanita. Thanks so much. Next, we're going to invite Olivia Bordson from Pareto onto the stage. All right. I'll let you know when we can see your screen. Looks like we're good to go.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Olivia, the co-founder of the direct-to-consumer women's apparel brand, Pareto. The women's apparel market in the US is a massive $166 billion opportunity, and it's ripe for disruption. Brands today are obsessed with more product, more often. Companies like Shein launch 1,000 new styles every single day. They're chasing constant newness in order to grow. Women, on the other hand, reach for the same core pieces day after day. We found that women wear 20% of their closets 80% of the time. And these core wardrobe essentials haven't actually changed much over the years. Take your denim jacket, for example. The Levi's denim jacket, popular in the early 1900s, looks pretty similar to the Levi's jacket today. So what does this all result in? Brands are making getting dressed a challenge. As brands chase constant newness, they've overcomplicated the core of the wardrobe. Just search denim jacket on Zara and you'll get 40 different results to sift through. Women have to waste increasing time and money just to get dressed in the morning. At Pareto, we are the retail brand that makes getting dressed the easiest part of your day. We're starting with women, but men and children are next. So how does it work? First, we make the best version of the core wardrobe essentials that should be in every woman's closet. We spend months perfecting the fit, maximizing versatility, testing durability, and ensuring each piece is responsibly made. We're able to do this because we've built a fully traceable, 100% domestic farm-to-closet supply chain. This means we work directly with our partners at every single stage of manufacturing. Next, we further simplify life by making getting dressed in the morning a breeze. We ping ongoing personalized styling inspiration or recipes to you based on the Pareto pieces you already own and your stated style preferences, taking the brain power out of getting dressed in the morning. And then we deliver it all in the most convenient way possible, allowing you to never think about shopping again. Imagine a blue apron for your closet where Pareto apparel, footwear, and accessories show up at your door based off of your past purchases and your stated preferences, allowing you to efficiently build out your wardrobe. At Pareto, we're building a first-of-its-kind tech-enabled apparel brand, and we're already on our way. Since launching at the end of 2020, we've brought 5 incredible products to market, with 3 more launching in the coming months. In doing so, we've generated over $65,000 in revenue, spending $0 on paid customer acquisition, and all at a gross margin of over 45%. And best of all, our customers are loving the brand. 30% of our customers have made 2 or more purchases in the last year, and we've shipped orders to over 40 states. We have an industry low return rate of less than 5%. To date, we've fully self-funded Pareto and have a clear path to $1.2 million in annual revenue in 3 years. Our key focus over the next 12 months is to start our customer acquisition engine, and the TechRise funds would dramatically help us jumpstart this process. We would specifically use the funds to scale up our affiliate marketing program, test and learn with paid ads, and invest in community building tactics like a loyalty program. My co-founder Jess and I have deep experience across the retail P&L, from our time working in-house for brands to serving retail clients with McKinsey. We felt the pain of the current retail environment, both personally and professionally, and we're the right retail nerds to define what the next generation brand looks like. The time is now. Consumers are embracing less is more. The sustainable fashion movement has just begun, and the millennial generation is more strapped for time than ever before. Imagine having a single go-to brand for the entire family that makes shopping and getting dressed in the morning a breeze. Thank you, and we hope to have you along for the ride.
Great job, Olivia. Thanks so much. And now, judges, you can come back on. And Amora, I'm going to have you kick us off.
Yeah. First of all, very excited about this as someone that has way too many clothes in her closet. But my question is, how would returns operate, especially since one of the benefits of shopping in store is that you can try it on and make sure that it fits in all the ways that you want. How does that look within your model?
Yes. So we offer a very flexible return policy. So we offer free shipping on all returns and exchanges. Maybe I'll hit on the key ways in which we've been able to keep that return rate so low. One is that through our fit top testing process during product development, most brands focus on a size small model and then scale up accordingly. We fit test our products at every stage of development on 50 plus women throughout the entire process to really refine our fit. And then two, we're super keen on making sizing consistent across styles. So once you are new to the brand, you identify your size, you can pretty much guarantee that that's the same size that you will be in our other styles. And then third is through social and community engagement, having our customers share how the pieces fit them, what their different perspective is on the fit, and that's really helped to keep our return rates far lower than industry average.
Yeah.
Thank you, Olivia. That was great. I had a couple of questions. Could you talk a little bit about the price per piece, or sort of like what you're paying to develop them and then selling, and then so average maybe cost per piece?
Yeah, great question. So our average, across our current 5 pieces, our average price is around $100. Our gross margin is on average about 45%. We have a clear path to increasing that to 55% over the next 2 years. And that increase is largely driven by the fact that we're buying in small quantities from our supply chain partners. And so we have some surcharges associated with that. And then just the other thing I wanted to hit on in terms of like where we're priced versus other apparel players. I would say we are at the top end of mass, but definitely not luxury. So we like to call it attainable quality. And we really emphasize this concept of price per wear. So it's not just the price of the on the ticket, but it's how often you wear it. And our customers actually self-report this on our website. So everyone can see what the price per wear is per item. Does that answer all your questions?
Yes, thank you.
I actually have a question, Olivia. So in terms of your current customer, how many current customers do you have? And if you're using the $25,000 for customer acquisition, what does that look like and how are you going to go about attaining it?
Yeah, great question. So we currently have nearly 400 paying customers from across the country. And in the use of funds, we think that we can triple that amount of customers by starting to invest in paid marketing for the first time. The main focus will be on influencer partnerships with affiliate marketing, really strategically testing paid ads on social, and then developing a loyalty program. 30% of our customers have made 2 or more purchases, so we really want to lean into that loyalty and be able to reward our customers for it.
You have 20 more seconds if there's anything else you wanted to cover.
I don't think so. I think that pretty much covered it.
I just want to ask supply chain issues. Do you have any issues with supply chain if you're going after all these new customers?
So we've been really lucky that we have a fully traceable supply chain. So we work with each of our partners directly, and it's all here in the US. And so we've been able to avoid a lot of the challenges that most brands have faced over the last year and a half.
8:01, you're good. Thank you all so much. Sorry for going off. My son called in the middle, but brought him back. So I'm excited to now welcome Graaphene and Ritu Chakrawarty.
Thank you, Desiree. And let me share my screen. And I'm going to address the problem, Desiree, you may be able to help use it later on.
I'm sure given the phone call I just got, yes, I could. Okay, we can see it. So we're ready when you are.
Yes, I am ready right now. Just a second. 9 out of 10 working parents are struggling today to find backup care. And Kim is one of them. She, her husband, and their 7-year-old daughter, Brooke, live in a Chicago suburb. She wants the best childhood experience for Brooke, but often she's deciding between conflicting priorities at work and home. This spring, she gave up to this constant struggle and downsized her promising career into part-time working and sadly lost the promotion to director. And Kim is not the only one. I have lived that pain and millions are living today. And when it comes to backup care, parents can't trust anyone and everyone. They rely on friends and family, stay-at-home spouse, and anyone whom they know. And if they don't get that help, there is no option other than quit. At Graaphene, at the flip side, more than 10 million stay-at-home caregivers that are unpaid but do not have reached to this group of struggling parents. At Graaphene, we are bringing them together. Parents join us and bring along their support network that help us build a trusted ecosystem of caregivers and parents. And they both interact on our app. Caregivers get paid for care and parents get trusted help. Caregivers stay and join us because they have a flexibility to choose what, when, how, and keep 100% of their earning. And parents have peace of mind. They are not leaving their kids to total stranger. They are friends at friend or family. So let's see how this Graaphene helps Kim now. Brooke once dropped to badminton practice, but Kim and her spouse both are working. So they check at Graaphene for help. And at Graaphene, they get many options. Mrs. Paul is one of them, and she takes just $7. Kim verifies on app that Mrs. Paul is her colleague's aunt. Her background check is clear, and her friend is given 5-star rating to Mrs. Paul. Mrs. Paul now drops Brooke and gets paid. And happy mom is on his way back to her promotion. And we are not just building another marketplace. We are creating infrastructure for care. Our unique shared ownership, pay forward affordable option, and digital time bank feature differentiate us in this crowded market. And we are not just talks. We are in the market. Our coding is in place, registered C Corp, engaged 10 plus ERG such as Accenture, and acquired 100 plus user and 6 plus strategic partnership, including Chicago's largest parent sitter network that has more than 12,000 members. We have started with premium plan and plan to make money via various ways. Tiered subscription is the first to go and remaining will be next. And by the way, we are operating in a huge market, 66 million parents in US alone, and 9 in 10 are struggling. Through our channel, we plan to reach 500,000 parents in the next 2 to 3 years and more than 5 million in next 5 years. And to back me up, I have a passionate star team. Collectively, we have more than 75 years of business management and domain experience. We all are parents and understand the challenges very well. Together, we are committed to help more than 4,000 parents by next year. And we are not going to stop there. We have a large vision to establish a sustainable care infrastructure for the future generation. We are on mission. And this is what keeps us going. This is what parents are saying. They are asking for better, quicker, and more. We understand emotion and urgency and working day and night to help many parents quickly. And with your support and today's prize money, we can accelerate our effort. Thank you.
Great job, Ritu. Okay, judges, you can come on. You can turn off your presentation too. Yeah. Nima, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ritu. Yes, I have lived this problem as a mother, so I completely understand and think it's an important tool. I wanted to understand a little bit more about the vetting process. So you're getting I suppose there's sort of the social aspect of this as well as stuff that or the company is doing to vet the caretakers.
Mm-hmm. Just give me 1 second. I was stopping my share.
Yeah.
Yes. So our acquisition process is we are taking through ERG and then employee resource group. So that's one resource. And then we have partnered with our security background check. So SumSub is our security background check partner. And we ensure whoever is entering it, they go through a proper security. So at any point of time, you are able to see that. In addition to this, ours is invite-only network. So when whoever is bringing that, it is powered by people. So whoever is bringing anybody into the network, they have accountability. You can always trace it back that, okay, person X is joined by person Y. And that's exactly what I explained in Kim's journey, that she could see that it is her colleague's aunt.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Sorry, I couldn't get off of mute. I'm so sorry about that. Amor, you want to go next?
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit more about the pricing? I just want to get a better understanding of that. It sounds like the, not the parent, the caregiver would keep 100% of the funds that they receive. So then how do you all then make your profit from the transaction?
Yes, so we charge from parents or the employer who is paying for care. That's our business model, but we do not charge anything from caregiver, because you understand in care economy already it's a very less money. So we would definitely like everything to give it to caregivers.
Emily, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm just curious. Thank you for that. It was a great presentation. How do you plan to handle supply and demand, right? Very similar to Uber, they had a real challenge, right? Getting drivers while getting customers all at the same time, right? Do you foresee an imbalance in verified caretakers, et cetera, in this?
Yeah, and any two-side marketplace, this is the biggest challenge. And then we are lucky to see that growth in our environment, because ours is very much powered by people. So when anybody, so this is the way it works. Parents join, they bring their support network, and they are helping us to build that caregiver and parents network. So what happens it is more like powered by people, and supply and demand is generated by them only, because throughout the chain, for every share and every invite, they get points. And this is exactly what I was talking about, digital time bank. So for their social help, they are getting paid. So there is an incentive for them to have attraction in the marketplace. And that's the way we are ensuring that it is we are able to maintain the supply and demand balance. Did I answer your question?
You did, yes. Thank you so much.
And we are at time. Great job, Ritu, and thank you, judges. And now we have our final competitor today. We have Jonaie Johnson with Interplay.
Hello, my name is Jonaie Johnson, and I am the founder and CEO of Interplay. And at Interplay, we create remote crating experiences for dog parents. Whether it's working a full-time 9-to-5, running everyday errands, or attending daily events, dog parents are busy people, and they are not always readily available to be home to care for their dog while they're away. This often leaves many dog parents feeling guilty about leaving their dog home alone, and in turn, many dogs develop separation anxiety due to their parents' frequent absence. And as a pet parent who had this problem, I know how stressful this pain point is, and that's why I came up with Interplay. With the Interplay PlayTouch, pet parents can now remotely control their dog's crating experience from the click of a button. With our product, they can now dispense food and water to their dog, see and talk to their dog, and play music and sounds, all from their phone while away from home via the Interplay app. So how does it work? They will simply install the Interplay PlayTouch to their existing dog crate, download and open the Interplay app, connect the device, and interact with their dog. Our target customers are tech-savvy dog parents between the ages of 25 to 55 who frequently crate, who are often away from home, and have incomes of over $50,000 a year. There are over 60 million dog parents in the US, and of that, approximately 20% of those dog parents crate, which leaves over 12 million dog parents in the US who crate. And Interplay is looking to target 5% of those dog parents, which leaves us with the potential of having over 630,000 dog parents in our initial target customer segment. Our primary competitors are Furbo, Pet Libro, WoPet, and PetCube. And as seen here, Interplay is the only company that provides a product that checks the box for each of the features listed, and that is also uniquely designed as a crate attachment and has a unique combination of both food and water. Now, in terms of market approach and strategies, we're looking to partner with dog influencers on social media platforms. This includes Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook, where we will have them post and promote our product. We're also looking to develop strategic partnerships with apartment complexes, animal shelters, and dog trainers. We're also planning to have sponsored content on our social media platforms. And we're looking to continue exhibiting our product at major pet industry trade shows and conferences where we do live demonstrations showing how the product works. And we're looking to sell our product, the Playtouch, via our website, Amazon, and Chewy's. So we have two revenue streams. The first is through product sales. With estimated total unit cost at $85 a unit and with a 66% margin, we're looking to price our product at $250 a unit. The second is through subscription. We're planning to have a free and premium version of the Interplay app, and the premium version will be priced at $6.99 a month. To highlight some of the key milestones to date, in November of last year, we placed first in both the CEO Global Pitch Competition along with the Afrotech Young Founders Pitch Competition. In March, we hit over 200 people on our wait list. This month, we officially filed our utility patent and we're going to begin beta testing. And in August, we're going to launch our Kickstarter campaign where we're projecting to do over $100,000 in pre-sales. Now more about me, the founder. I graduated with a degree in entrepreneurship from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. I have product management experience at H&R Block. I was featured in the Kansas City Business Journal NO Under 25 list. And in 2020, I was selected as the UMKC Student Entrepreneur of the Year. I have strategically assembled a diverse board of advisors who are highly skilled and have years of experience in their fields. Any funding received will go towards manufacturing. This includes injection molding, shipping and assembly costs, legal fees to continue the pursuit of our utility patent, along with marketing to hire a marketing team so we can ensure that we're establishing positive brand recognition behind the name Interplay. Now, with that being said, I would like you all to remember that with Interplay, when you're away, you can know that your pet's okay. And I do ask that you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and visit our website at www.gointerplay.com. Thank you.
Great job, Jonaie. All right, judges, do you want to come back on? And Emily, I'll have you kick us off. Oh, you're muted.
Great presentation, but I'm just curious, in terms of your competitors, how does your price stand up compared to the 4 other competitors that you have?
Yeah, so our competitors' pricing range between $100 to $200, depending on what version and what level of the camera. So depending if you want just the camera or you want the dispensing features as well. So we sit pretty at our price point, and it's really competitive because of the features that we allow. So we're not just a treat dispenser, we're not just a food dispenser, we're both a water and food dispenser, and we also allow other capabilities such as music playing along with that for an enhanced product offering as well.
Amora.
And forgive me if I missed this during your presentation, but is there a plan for this to be hosted within pet stores, or is this just a direct to consumer shipping model?
Yeah, so right now we have a D2C model. And in terms of pet stores, are you referring to retailers? Because in year 3, that's when we're going to enter Chewy's. That's on our trajectory plan. So right now in year 1 is going to be Kickstarter and through our website. Then in year 2, was going to be Amazon, and then year 3 is going to be us, Amazon, and Chewy. So that's laid out in our projections, which is also why you see a major hockey stick incline for those projections as well.
And Nima.
Jonaie, great job. I had a question in terms of where you are with the development. So it sounds like the hardware is done and you have a prototype. Are the apps, everything, is it sort of ready to go?
Yes, that's what we're doing this month. So actually next week is the prototype is going to be complete, the first one, and then we're going to get betas built out before the end of this month. So I have 5 beta testers ready. So we're going to continue that beta test throughout July, which is right in time for our Kickstarter. So we've already getting quotes from the manufacturers. So right now it's just getting that funding to put everything in place so we can make sure we get this product on market.
We have time for some more questions.
I'm just curious with the $25,000 award, right? And if that's going towards manufacturing, how many units are you looking to produce with that? Like $85, I think you said is the unit cost.
Yeah, so the $25,000 will go towards those injection molding costs, and then that Kickstarter campaign will cover what our cost of goods would be for per unit cost. And we're estimating to sell 1,000 units. That's why we're doing pre-sales first through that Kickstarter campaign.
You have a little bit of time if there's anything that you feel like you didn't cover.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add as well. So our niche is that it's a crate attachment. So right now there isn't a product on the market that targets pet parents who crate, which is where we find our unique point of differentiation. But we do offer a stand that we sell separately, in which pet parents, so we offer it to pet parents who don't crate as well. So they just buy the product in the stand and they still have the same functions and capability as well. And then we also use that as a way to extend the lifetime value of our customers. So
great. Well, wonderful job pitching and wonderful job to all of the founders. I mean, this feels like one of the most competitive ones we've seen in a while. So judges, I don't envy you right now going to go decide who wins. But thank you to the incredible founders who prepared so much. And with that, I'm very excited to welcome Leslie Smith, the National Director of Get Cities, onto the stage. And I'm going to read her bio as she joins us. Leslie works to shift the power to women, trans, and non-binary people in tech with a focus on Black and Latina, in both of them, Indigenous and other people of color, and to ensure that the tech industry is an engine for, not against, equity and economic justice. She brings to the role years of experience in economic development work and community-based business development. Before joining Get Cities, Smith served as the founding president and CEO of Epicenter, a nonprofit hub for the greater Memphis entrepreneurial community. She was president and CEO of TechTown, Detroit's most established business incubator and accelerator, and prior to that, director of business acceleration for the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. And she's a friend and an amazing role model for women in tech in Chicago. So Leslie, I'm so grateful to have you here. By reading your bio, it's pretty clear why you were interested in this role, but you want to tell us a little bit about Get for the audience who might not know what you all work on, and start there?
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for having me, Desiree. It's always fun to hang out with you, and to get to do it with all of these other folks is just even extra extraordinary. Get Cities, as you said, is really focused on shifting women, trans, and non-binary people into positions of power and influence across the tech economy. Recognizing, as we did today, that the more diverse founders we have, the more diverse solutions we're going to have in market. And so I was just astounded by the founders today and the ways they're addressing real problems in real time in new and innovative ways. And we just believe that their presence across the tech economy broadly as expanded will just increase innovation and better serve society through their efforts. We're currently running at about 25% nationally of sort of women, trans, and non-binary people being represented across the tech economy. And when you look at that intersectionally across race, ethnicity, and or other lived experiences, the number goes down. So we know that we have this huge gap between where we are and full potential, and we're not going to stop until we get there. So that's why we're here. That's why we love things like this that allow us to put cash into the hands of female founders who can then go grow amazing companies that solve real problems and create jobs and sort of vibrancy for everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that you said kind of triggered me in a positive way. You know, we, as women founders, when we go to solve a problem, like the one that Ritu is solving for childcare, you know, I think it's easy for sometimes traditional male investors to look at that business and say, oh, it's already been done. Care.com's doing it. Urban Sitter's doing it. But she's taking a different approach, right? Which is, and I'm not trying to plug any particular business, but she's recognizing that there's this kind of like kind of co-op opportunity within communities that hasn't really been serviced in this kind of model, and thinking about how kind of, you know, like we have 10,000 food delivery companies, and male VCs have no problem funding every single one of them. But we often hear, as you know, people solving a problem that's, you know, unfamiliar to traditional white male investors, that, oh, that already exists, the incumbent's already there, it's already big. And so I'm taking us totally off script with this question, but mostly like, what do you think that the role is for us as women founders, ecosystem builders, to help kind of change the narrative around these problems to be solved and the new solutions of tomorrow for a new audience?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really limited in its perspective, right? And that perspective you just described is also limited through the networks and sort of solutions to problems that the cis white men are experiencing. So long as the experience of the problem and the solutions to the problem and the funding for the problem are singularly driven by the smallest percentage of our population, the solutions will continue to solve a smaller percentage of our population than what is possible, right? So yeah, there are other solutions to this problem, but you and I both know, having raised a bunch of kids and just having gone through this treacherous pandemic, that the solutions that are out there aren't in all ways working. So we have to keep working to find new solutions. And to your other point, there isn't a problem doing sort of a second or third iteration of a solution when that solution comes from a network of people they already know who are experiencing the problem in the ways they experience it. So we're not trying to kick cis white men out of the solution set or out of society, but what we are saying is that we're all experiencing these things very differently, and we have different answers to those problems that will sell to different segments of the market and solve those problems differently. And the thing we really need is what you're solving for here at TechRise is access to capital, right? So I regularly get the next question you're probably thinking, like, why are there less of these founders and why are there less of these unicorns that are women, trans, or non-binary? And then obviously intersectionally, Black, Brown, or Indigenous. And the reason is we don't invest in the same ways that we invest in cis white men. So we're trying to also shift the way the investors look, and you're actively involved in doing this here and in other ways across the ecosystem. And again, what I think is so unique about our approach is that we're layering the incumbent industry with the innovation economy and the academic institutions to ensure that not only are the ideas and the roles within the companies constructed there, but the access to capital, whether that's investment capital, contracts. A lot of these women that just pitched already have contracts or generating revenue in market, and or the negotiation of their salaries, right? So if you're going to move into a tech startup, we want women, trans, and non-binary startup team members to also know how to activate more cash into their sort of family dynamic. And I really appreciate that intersectional approach.
Yeah, no, and it's one of the things that we are so impressed by is that, when we talk about the founder side of our work at P33, at least we do think of it as a funnel, right? And TechRise is a way to bring more founders of color, more women, trans, non-binary, LGBTQ plus people into the funnel. But if the funnel is leaky at any place, like they're probably the most likely to leak out. And so we have to have multiple points of intervention in that funnel, which is why P33 works on speed round and with you guys and also VC desk. But you all kind of start even higher up the funnel when it comes to creating kind of the tech leaders of tomorrow, because you work with colleges and universities, right, to help create some workforce development.
So we're trying to make sure that all of the paths to tech are, as you said, sort of without leakage, right? And that people that are not currently represented in those sort of underestimated segments of our population see themselves there, right? So we believe firmly that you can't be what you can't see. So we really want to make sure that we're telling the stories of the women, trans, and non-binary humans that are making their way there. But we also want to make sure that all of those pipelines are sort of without leak and connected sort of intersectionally as they move toward opportunities in tech. And we started in the collegiate space. I think as we live and learn on the ground with our partners like y'all and others across Chicago, Miami, and DC, we're starting to think about K through 12 and what are the connections there to ensure that there isn't leakage on that handoff, but also what are all of the non-traditional pathways into tech that are sort of ignored if you singularly look at a formal education pipeline. And so we're increasingly being challenged about the things we find on the ground to ensure that new leaks that pop up as we're building the system are also addressed.
Well, two things you said I want to touch on. One is kind of, are you seeing any trends, or are there different focuses in the different cities now that you guys are in DC, Miami, and Chicago is one question. But then I kind of want to later take us over to this kind of alternate pathways in high school also. So let's start with first, though, what's happening in the other markets where you guys are launched.
Yeah, so our sort of theory of change really rests on the notion that the regions are laboratories for change, and we moved first to the willing. So each of those cities are representative of an emerging tech economy who care about justice in that economy. So we didn't elect to go to places where we're going to have to convince them that women, trans, and non-binary people or people across the entire sort of marginalized population set were important as an element of their tech economy. That's how we ended up in Chicago first, candidly, because I think the sensibilities and commitment to that effort are so clear that we knew we would be successful. And we've never once had to fight to create a collaborative conversation about how to do better. I think what's interesting for us when we think about learning and informing an entire practice about justice and equity in the tech economy is that each of the cities are at different sort of stages of development as they emerge as a tech hub. And so we get to try different interventions and learn different things that we can then share with other cities across the US who can identify themselves with either or all three of those cities, candidly, in different ways. And we wanted the sort of gaps or opportunities for scale to be slightly different. So in Chicago, you know that we're working really closely on that sort of seed to Series A sort of bridge and what that can look like for women, trans, and non-binary founders and founders of color. In DC, the challenge is just candidly a little bit later, right? So we can attack a different stage of the leakiness of the capital landscape. Also in DC, we find that there are sort of three very distinct regions, and the sort of collaboration among the three of them is not quite as strong as it is in Chicago. So we have more of an opportunity to connect those activities for scale. And then Miami, oh my gosh, what an interesting and beautiful place, really at the beginning of their sort of emerging tech journey, which allows us to sort of be more at the beginning of building it from scratch, which is awesome, but also this really complex Latinx diversity across the entire city that allows us to really think about how do the intercultural differences, even within a sort of more singular appearing population, create opportunities for us to be more inclusive, welcoming, and belonging, and have the interventions more fully informed by each of those sort of sub-segments of the population, which is really interesting for us, we think.
No, it's so true. And, you know, as a Latina, I feel like I can say this more easily than maybe others, but yeah, there is, you know, a bias that exists within our culture, and it's different actually from different regions of Latin America and Spanish-speaking world. So I completely agree with you that there are nuances to that community that we probably, you know, don't even recognize here in Chicago, where we're predominantly, you know, of Mexican and Puerto Rican origin. So it's very, very interesting challenge to face. I'm convinced that we're going to have a Chiami sister city relationship between our tech worlds in not too long. We definitely have seen founders go there. You know, I'm going to say that they're snowbirds. They're not permanently moved there, but we shall see what happens. But I think we should be spending more time there, and they should be spending more time here, because our populations do overlap. And you know, at least 30% of our population overlaps, and so a lot to learn from each other. Absolutely. So, and I also want to thank you for the Tech Equity Working Group. Most people don't think realize the power that group has had in our city, bringing together collaborators from all of our incubators and accelerators, from our city colleges, our universities. So the programming that, you know, like TechRise, and TechRise came out of the discussion that happened in the Tech Equity Working Group. And I actually wouldn't even be at P33 if it wasn't for the early discovery work that you guys do. So personally, I thank you. And I think the city thanks you guys for playing this kind of, you know, agnostic role, this Switzerland role, to bring everyone together. And I think we're collaborating in a way that we couldn't have without your leadership. So thank you to you and the team who've done such a great job.
It is our commitment to seek neither credit nor control, but just make the place better than we found it. And we cannot do it without people like you and all of our partners across Chicago. So thank you.
Well, and I do wonder, it feels like a, you know, distinctly feminine thing to be so collaborative in some ways, because I'm totally making gender stereotypes, I recognize, But I have, we have All Raise in Chicago too. And on the surface, you could look at All Raise and Get and see them as potentially competing organizations. But being on the steering committee and involved in both, I can say that you guys very much collaborate with each other and see how you can enhance and support each other and influence each other's work. So maybe there's a message to other organizations nationally to do a better job of that. I don't know. Not much of a question, more of a comment, but
we hope so. We agree with you, and we hope so. We'd like to lead by example.
Yes, well, you're doing an amazing job. It sounds like they're back and they have a decision. So we can welcome all the judges and all the founders back on, camera on and unmuted. And we have Stephen, our great facilitator of the judges room, back with us too. All right, and without further ado, who's going to announce the winner today?
That'll be me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
when you're ready.
Sorry, my Google Home is talking in the background. But we just had a deliberation, and it was a very difficult choice. You all did amazing today. I can't sing your praises enough. But to cut to the chase, so we aren't all, sitting here in suspense, the winner today is GABA. And we are very, very excited for you today. You did wonderful. Again, you all did wonderful. I can't emphasize how difficult this choice was.
Congratulations. I think she's in the car having trouble with Wi-Fi, but you want to say a few words, Candice?
Sure. Actually, I am sitting outside of a funeral. So this was a tough pitch to be giving just before this moment. And so thank you all. And I'm shaking because I didn't think that would happen. I didn't think that would happen. Wow, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. We have, it's been tough. I heard you all talk about being a female founder and the bias, and it is very hard. And so every bit of support really matters to us. And yeah, I'm going to say that because otherwise I'm going to, it's been a day.
I think I can speak for all of us and say our condolences to you and your family and friends and whoever else has lost someone today. So sending your family peace and love. And I hope you can find time later today to bask in your win, because you did a wonderful job, as did all of the women founders here. And I just want to remind everyone that these women are all invited back to pitch again on TechRise. So it's not a one and done experience. Hopefully we'll see some more winners from this crew. And thank you as always to Verizon, and a special thanks to Get Cities today for making this gift possible. And have a wonderful Juneteenth and Father's Day weekend if you are a father or celebrating your father. And with that, we will see you all next week.